Hello, social studies. Now let's move on to the other law and let's discuss about the consumer law. The Republic Act number 7394 is also known as Consumer Act of the Philippines. It is a law that protects consumer from unfair business practices. It also establishes standards of conduct for businesses.
Ang dami natin nababalitaan, attorney, na mga nagrereklamo sa mga nabili nila online na parang iba yung picture, tapos iba yung dumating. Meron pala tayong mga protection under the law bilang consumers. Ano ba tong batas na to? Ano exactly yung sinasabi niya?
Okay. So, meron po tayong batas na tinatawag na Republic Act number 7394. Ito po yung Consumer Act of the Philippines. Ito po yung primary na batas na nagpoprotekta po sa mga interest ng ating mga Philippine consumers. Ito rin yung batas na nag-i-impose ng sanctions and penalties doon sa mga businesses na nag-engage sa unfair business practices, price manipulation, fraudulent business activities, at dun po sa mga nagbebenta ng mga defective or substandard na produkto.
In Article 2, the Declaration of Basic Policy, it is the policy of the state to protect the interests of the consumer, promote general welfare, and to establish standards of conduct for business and industry. So what is the purpose of consumer law? Of course, this law is designed to prevent business that engage in fraud or specified unfair practices from gaining an advantage over competitors and provide additional for the weak and those unable to take care of themselves. And the objectives of this consumer law, first is the protections against hazard to health and safety, protections against deceptive, unfair, and unconscionable sales act and practices, provisions of information and education to facilitate sound choice and the proper exercise of rights by the consumer. And lastly is the provisions of adequate rights and means of redress and involvement of consumer representatives in the formulation of social and economic policies. So what are the rights of the consumers? First, we have the right to safety. Consumers have the right to be protected from products or services that are hazardous. Like for example, a toy manufacturer must ensure that the toys are safe for children and not made of toxic materials. We have also the right to information. Consumers should receive accurate and sufficient information to make informed decisions. Like food products must have labels showing ingredients, expiration date, and nutritional facts. And we have also the right to choose. Consumers should have access to a variety of products and services at competitive prices. Like consumers can choose among different brands, not forced to buy only one brand. And we have also the right to be heard, means consumers can voice complaints and seek resolution, like a filing complaint with the Department of Trade and Industry if a product is defective.
Pero meron ba talagang naghahabol?
Well, marami po, especially if meron pong mga consumers na kagaya nga ng sinabi ninyo, meron silang in-order, thinking na yun yung mare-receive nila, and then eventually, nung na-deliver na, iba pala yung item or substandard siya.
Oo nga. Meron po, ano po ba dapat yung proseso kapag ganyan ang nangyari sa atin? Halimbawa, nung yung na-mention namin sa start ng show, umorder siya ng laptop, ang nakuha niya, bato. Grabe, hindi man lang computer,
Hindi man lang
diba?
Apple device.
Oo, not even close.
Opo. Well, it depends on the circumstances. Pero, ang pinaka-practical na solusyon is una makipag-usap muna sa seller. Kasi
Okay.
kagaya nga na sinasabi nila, karamihan naman ng issues na dadaan sa mabuting usapan. Pero kung talagang sobrang grave na nung violation, pwede po tayong either bumisita po sa pinakamalapit na DTI office, Department of Trade and Industry, o kaya po bisitahin natin yung kanilang website. Pwede po tayong maghain ng complaint po doon for violation of Republic Act number 7394.
And also we have the right to redress. Consumers are entitled to fair compensation if harmed or deceived, like returning a faulty items and getting a refund or replacement.
Paglabag sa Consumer Act ang no video, no refund policy ng ilang online seller ayon sa Department of Trade and Industry. Sabi ng DTI, karapatan ng mamimili na palitan, i-refund o ipa-repair ang anumang sirang produkto. Hindi raw kailangan ng unboxing video at sapat nang ipresenta ang depektibong produkto. Kung tumanggi ang seller na magbigay ng refund o palitan ng sirang produkto, maaaring mag-email sa consumercare@dti.gov.ph. Pagkatapos ito, magsaschedule ang DTI ng mediation sa pagitan ng seller at buyer sa loob ng 7 hanggang 10 araw. Kung walang mapagkasunduan, pag-aaralan ng DTI ang mga ebidensya at pahayag para makapagpasya kung sino ang mananagot.
And lastly, we have the right to consumer education. Consumers should be taught to make informed choices and understand their rights. Like schools and government agencies provide seminars on consumer rights. And before we proceed to the next, let's have our knowledge check. Now let's move on to the implementing agencies. First, we have the Department of Trade and Industry. It is the main agency enforcing the Consumer Act. It protects consumer by ensuring fair trade, setting product standard, promoting consumer education, and monitoring warranties, and also resolving complaints. And we have the Department of Health. DR oversees foods, drugs, cosmetics, medical devices, and health products to ensure that they are safe and properly labeled. And we have also the Department of Agriculture. DR also monitors agricultural products such as fruits, vegetables, meat, poultry, and fish, ensuring they are safe, fresh, and accurately represented in quality and quantity. And lastly, we have the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. It regulates banks, credit card issuers, and other financial institutions. It protects the consumers by ensuring the transparency in credit and loan transactions, monitoring fair interest rates, and preventing abusive lending practices. What are the consumers' responsibility? First is the critical awareness. Means being a wise consumer by checking product details, comparing actions, questioning ads, and avoiding impulsive buying to ensure every purchase is truly necessary and beneficial. And we have also the action, means being an active consumer by speaking up against unfair or deceptive practices and supporting efforts that protect consumer rights. This includes reporting fraud, refusing to support unethical businesses, and joining movements or organizations that promote fairness and accountability in the marketplace. And we have also the social concern, means being a responsible consumer by considering how one's choices affect other people, and society. This involves thinking about the welfare of workers, supporting fair trade, avoiding products harmful to communities, and recognizing the environmental and social impact of every purchase. And speaking of, we have also the environmental awareness, means being mindful of the environment by practicing eco-friendly consumption, such as reducing waste, reusing materials, recycling products, and choosing items that are safe and sustainable, helping to protect natural resources for future generations. And we have also the solidarity, means working together with other consumers to promote and protect consumer interests by supporting campaigns, joining consumer groups, and standing united against unfair or harmful business practices. And we have also irresponsible, being responsible consumptions, means using products wisely by following instructions, ensuring safety, and avoiding misuse that could cause harm to oneself, to others, or the product itself. And we have also the honesty, means being truthful and accurate in all consumer transactions, such as giving correct information in warranties, contracts, or returns, and not taking advantage of businesses or other consumers through deception. And lastly, we have the accountability, means taking full responsibility for one's choices as a consumer, recognizing both the financial and social consequences of every purchase and decision made in the marketplace. And before of anything else, let's have our knowledge check. Now let's move on to the consumer protection. First, we have food, drugs, cosmetics, and devices, which is the state shall ensure safe and good quality of these and regulate their production, sale, distribution, and advertisement to protect the health of the consumer. And we have also the hazardous substances. The state shall adopt measures designed to protect the consumer against substances other than food, drugs, cosmetics, and devices that are hazardous to his or her health and safety. And we have also the Deceptive, Unfair, and Unconscionable Sales Act or practices. The state shall promote and encourage fair, honest, and equitable relations among parties in consumer transactions and protect the consumer against deceptive, unfair, and unconscionable sales act or practices and Article 49 Implementing Agency. And we have also the regulations of practices related to weight and measures. The provincial, city, or municipal treasurer shall strictly enforce the provisions of this law, and its implementing rules and regulations provided that with respect to the use of the metric system, it shall be enforced by the Department of Trade and Industry. And we have also the labeling and fair packaging. The state shall enforce compulsory labeling and fair packaging to enable the consumer obtain accurate information as the nature, quality, and quantity of the contents of consumer products and to facilitate consumers' comparison of the value of such products. And this is the example of the labeling. Philippine Product Standard Mark. The Philippine Standards or the PS, Quality and or Safety Mark and Import Commodity Clearance like or ICC stickers serve as the consumer's guide and assurance that what they purchase are certified quality and safety products conforming the relevant Philippine national standard. And we have also the liability for product and service. Department of Trade and Industry ensures manufacturers, producers, and importers, whether local or foreign, are held responsible if their defective products cause harm to the consumers. This liability applies even if the defect was unintentional and may come from poor design, faulty manufacturing or assembly, unsafe formulas or handling, misleading packaging or labeling, or lack of clear instructions and warnings. Advertising, sales, and promotions. The state shall protect the consumer from misleading advertisement and fraudulent sales promotion practices. And lastly, we have the regulation of repair and service firm. The state shall cost the accreditation of repair and service firms as establishments and their technical personnel in order to protect the interests of the consumers availing of their services. And let's have our knowledge check. Now let's move on to the next law, and it is about human relation. Human relation, it refers to the study and practice of effective interpersonal interaction among people, emphasizing understanding, cooperation, and respect in both personal and professional settings to build positive and productive relationships. Human Relations under Republic Act No. 386, which is the Civil Code of the Philippines, enacted in 1949, effective on August 30, 1950. The Civil Code contains a section called Human Relations, Articles 19 to 36, Title 1, Chapter 2, Book 1. This party lays down basic rules of conduct for people and society, serving as a guide to maintain order, justice, and fairness in human interactions. Now let's discuss the key articles and provisions. In Article 19, Principle of Abuse of Rights, that every person must, in the exercise of his rights and in the performance of his duties, act with justice, give everyone his due, and observe honesty and good faith. And Article 20 acts contrary to law if a person violates the law and as a result causes harm or injury to another, they are legally required to pay for the damages. In simple terms, no one can escape responsibility when their illegal actions hurt someone else, whether it be physical, financial, or emotional harm. In Article 21, acts of contrary to morals, good customs, or public policy, a person causes harm to another through actions that go against morals, good customs, or public policy, they are obliged to pay for the damages. This means that even if the act is not directly illegal, as long as it violates accepted standards of decency, fairness, and public welfare, the wrongdoer must still answer for the harm caused. It ensures that justice is served not only by the law, but also by moral and ethical standards. And Article 22, unjust enrichment. No one should gain or benefit unfairly at the expense of another person. If someone's received money, property, or any benefit by mistake or without a valid legal basis, they are required to return it. This principle prevents unfair advantage and ensures that people only keep what rightfully belongs to them. And the Article 23 to 36, it is the other provisions of payments of damages caused by negligence. First is when a person carelessness or failure to act responsibly causes harm or loss to another. They are obliged to pay for the damages. This ensures accountability and reminds everyone to exercise caution and prudence in their action, especially when the safety or property of others may be affected. Next is responsibility in emergencies. In situation of danger or emergency, individuals may be held responsible for helping others if it is within their ability and does not put them to unreasonable risk. These provisions promotes compassion and social responsibility, encouraging people to act in ways that protect life and safety. Next is the respect for privacy and personality. Every person has the right to be respected in their private life, dignity, and individuality. Any act that violates someone's privacy, damages their reputation, or disrespects their personal rights can lead to liability. This ensures that humans' dignity is always protected against intrusion or abuse. And another is respect for family relations. The law protects the integrity and harmony of the family by prohibiting acts that may cause dishonor, disrespect, or conflict among its members. This recognizes the family as the foundation of society and emphasizes the need to preserve love, respect, and unity within it. What are the purpose of human relations provisions? First is to humanize the law by making sure that justice is not only legal but also moral. The human relations provisions remind us that justice should not be based only on technicalities of the law but must also consider fairness, morality, and compassion. This ensures that the law serves people in a humane way and promotes genuine justice and society. Second is to promote social justice, fairness, and harmonious relationships. These provisions aim to create balance and equality in human interactions by encouraging fairness and discouraging selfish or abusive behavior. By doing so, they foster peace, respect, and cooperation within communities. And lastly, to prevent the abuse of rights and protect the dignity of every individual. The law recognizes that while peoples have rights, they must not be exercised to the harm or disadvantages of others. These provisions safeguard human dignity by ensuring that rights are used responsibly with consideration for the welfare of all. And let's have our last knowledge check.